Hi, welcome to Southbay. Before we get you on the water today, there's just a few steps we need to go through. So please show up 30 minutes before your scheduled start time. You're gonna head back here. We're gonna need to see an ID and a credit card for your security deposit. Now we're gonna have you fill out this waiver. You're gonna start over here, date, name, phone number. Additionally, over here, we need another phone number of someone that's gonna be on the boat today. You're gonna go ahead and then initial all the way through here, sign date, and we're gonna need all the first names of the passengers that are gonna be aboard the vessel today. There's also additionally a backside as well. You're gonna go through initial and sign at the bottom for me. Okay, so when you leave our marina, we're gonna be starting down here at the X. Once you leave our marina, you're gonna head between our channel markers we have set up. There's the red and green. You're gonna stay between those over to the big red and green flags in front of South Point Marina, which is right here. Once you get over to the first set of flags, you're gonna head out. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of flags. It's very important that you stay between all 4 sets of flags so you exit the 4th set heading north. This whole area back here on the south end of Roanoke Bay is a huge mud flat and it's extremely shallow. So we want you to stay out of this area. So whenever you're entering the south end of the bay here, you wanna make sure you find the 4th set of flags and you're gonna head south. 1, 2, 3, 4. And once you're back at the first set of flags here, you're gonna slow down to a no wake and then nice and easy back over to our dock here. Continuing more north, there's a few areas we'd like to point out. You're also gonna notice the levels of the depth of the bay right here. It's gonna continue to get progressively deeper the more north you head. Also, while you're out there, we want you to maintain a minimum of 300 feet away from shore at all times. That's a football field away from shore. That's just gonna insist that you're not gonna hit anything in the water and you're gonna be deep enough. First point that we want you to watch out for is going to be Point Lookout right here. There's going to be a bunch of cattails. There's a big white house right here on the point. There's also some small shallow marker buoys out here. I want you to make sure you stay 300 feet away from those. And as you continue heading more north, there's 2 islands right out here. We want you to stay away from these islands, especially right between this big island and the land here. Do not cut between there. It's extremely shallow. There's rocks. If you want to head back into the cove, you're going to loop all the way around this way. Also, it's a no wake zone while you're back here. This is the cove right here. It's a popular area. People like to hang out and go swimming. There's a huge sand hill here, so people like to go swimming in that area as well. Continuing more north, Inspiration Point is right here. This is the big 104 bridge for reference. This point is very popular. People like to cut through here and they get too close to shore. If you stay 300 feet away from this location, you'll be fine. Just an area to watch out for. Continuing more north, you're gonna see the bay's gonna get very deep up here. It's about 70, 80 feet deep up here on the north side of the bridge. This area right here is we call the Big Sand Hill on the north side of the bridge. On the Webster side, this is very popular. People like to hang out, go swimming here. If you are at this location, just keep in mind that it gets very shallow fast and also drops off very quick if you're heading out. There's a big sand hill. Let's say, for example, you're backed in here and you have your anchor off the front of the boat. The front of the boat might be in 16, 20 feet of water. The back of the boat could be in 5 feet of water, so it drops off very quick. So just use some caution when you're up there. And then also just make sure you have enough anchor line out. Good rule of thumb is to have 3 feet of anchor line out for every 1 foot of water. So if you're in 10 foot of water, you want to have about 30 foot of anchor line out. Continuing more north up here, this is the commercial channel that heads out towards the lake. If you're in this channel or within 300 feet of this channel, it's a 5 mile per hour, no wake zone. This area up here near Seabreeze, there's a bunch of cattails over here. There are some rocks and it gets very shallow in this northwest area. So we want you to stay out of that area as well. Continue over, you head over to the east side, to the Webster side. You're more than free to travel over here. Just be cautious in the summertime. There is a lot of weeds that grow over this area. You cannot go out into the lake. You must stop here at Mayor's Marina, which is located here on the Webster side, and this is the public launch here. This is also where the Seabreeze Swing Bridge is. They open and close that in April and in November, so you cannot head out into the lake. Once you're done with your check-in procedure at the rental building, you're gonna head down to the water and get on one of our rental boats, and we're gonna go over the safety and check out safety and operation procedures down here on the water. Once you head down to your boat, we're gonna head off the boat and we're gonna head back here to the propeller to continue our departure steps. First, we're gonna take a photo of the propeller with our tablet. Additionally, we're gonna have you take one as well with your cell phone. We're gonna next go to our equipment check. So first, we're gonna head to the back here. We're gonna check and see how many life jackets are aboard the boat. These are orange Type 3 adult life jackets. We always recommend that you wear these, even if you're a strong swimmer. We still want you to use one if you decide to go swimming. So just you can go ahead and put this over your head. and then this is gonna go under your arms. You may have to loosen the strap a little bit, and then it's gonna connect right back here, and then you just wanna snug this up enough, and that's how you put on a life jacket. We're also gonna have bumpers on the boat. On this side of the vessel over here, we're gonna have 2 bumpers, one on the back, one in the front. So also up here on the front of the boat, we have the anchor and rope. You have 100 foot of line up here. So we have some additional safety coming under this back bench here. So first we're gonna start off, we have some flares right here. We have our visual distress flag. We have an extendable paddle right here. And then we also have a fire extinguisher under here as well. Another thing to keep in mind is weight distribution. It's very important on these boats. Currently, you can see the stern of the boat is sitting a little bit lower than the bow of the boat. While you're underway, you want most of the heavier items like coolers and things like that towards the back of the boat. So you keep that bow a little bit higher than the stern back here. It's very important to keep most of the heavier items in the weight towards the rear of the boat because we want to keep the front higher. If you have more weight in the front and you're driving along and you hit a wave wrong, it's going to submarine the front of the boat. A huge wave's going to come through. It's going to blast through the whole boat. You can also risk damaging the front of the boat. Also, while the motor is on and while you're underway, everyone must stay within the gated area here. No one's allowed to ride outside of the gated area while the motor is running or while you're underway. We don't want to see anyone on the front of the boat bow riding. It's extremely dangerous. If anyone was to fall over, they're gonna go right under the boat and then into the propeller. So it's a very dangerous thing. So we wanna make sure everyone is safe and they stay within the gated area. Also, there is no smoking allowed on any of our rental boats. Next, we're gonna go over operation of the boat. So first thing, we're gonna make sure that the motor is trimmed all the way down. And then additionally, we're gonna make sure that the motor is in neutral. And next, we're gonna make sure that the lanyard is connected here and it is in the run position. Now we're gonna go ahead and start the boat. As you can see, it starts up very easy, just like a 4-stroke, just like your vehicle. Just turn the key and go. So currently the boat is in neutral. We're just gonna go ahead and shift it into forward. That's forward gear there. Back to neutral here. And there's reverse right there. It's kind of a quick shifting. If you say this is 12 o'clock here, first forward is gonna be at the 10 o'clock position. So that's 10 o'clock. So if you're shifting and you feel this, if you hear that clicking, you gotta keep going more. So there's forward there, back to neutral. And then if you wanna go in reverse, reverse is about 2. So 2 o'clock, right about there. And if you wanna go faster, you're just gonna push it more forward, nice and slow. Same procedure for reverse. So this is your swim ladder. It's located in the rear of the boat. To use that, just gonna unclip it over here, and then you're gonna deploy the ladder. Now at the end of, when you're done swimming, it's very important to, don't forget to pull this back up. We don't want it dragging in the water, it can cause damage. So you're just gonna go ahead and fold it up and then clip it over here to make sure it's not gonna fall down. So all the doors on the pontoons, you're gonna lift near the hinge and they're all gonna open in. And then to close them, you just lift up, close that way. So if you'd like to use the radio on the boat, just the stereo button here, and then you're gonna wait a second and you're gonna see that the radio is gonna kick on. All our boats have Bluetooth radios, so you can Bluetooth your phone and listen to your own music if you'd like. So right here, we're gonna show you how high we want you to trim the motor in case you get into shallow water. This is as high as you want to trim the motor if you get into shallow water. There's intake grates located under there that suck water in from the lake and cool the motor. So it's very important that this is as high as you trim the motor while it's running. So now you can see that the motor is trimmed all the way down. This is how you want to have the motor while you're under normal operation. So whenever the motor's running, you should always see a steady stream of water coming out of the back of the motor. For some reason, while the motor's running, it's not pumping water out of that back corner, or if the motor is acting funny, any type of alarm is going off, we want you to turn the motor off, make sure you throw the anchor, and give us a call. So once you return to our dock, our staff is going to continue the checkout procedure, which that involves is the renter must stay with the boat. Everyone else can exit the boat, and then we're going to head to the back of the boat and we're going to check over the propeller. So we're going to have the customer raise the motor all the way up, and we're going to go ahead and check to see if there's any new damages to the prop. And then we're going to start from the front of the boat. We're going to check to make sure that the anchor is still there, and then we're going to check between each seat, make sure there's no rips, tears, make sure no one left anything behind. and then we're gonna check to see how much fuel you used during the rental. Once you're finished with the return procedure down here on the water, we're gonna have you head on up to the rental building to complete the checkout procedure. Thanks for choosing Southbay to get you out on the bay. Please leave us a review on Facebook, Google, and like us on Instagram. Thanks for choosing us.